everyone, I'm Coach Leah and I help people get mobile. Today I will be teaching you how to revive your body through mobility training. So the first question I get from everyone is, what is mobility? Awesome question, very important to understand before we dive into our training. So I've often heard people use the terms mobility and flexibility synonymously, but these are not in fact synonymous. So key distinction to understand here. Flexibility refers to the ability to lengthen a muscle, while mobility refers to our ability to work a muscle through its full range with control. So there is a flexibility component, being able to go through the full range, but there's also that strength element of having the control as we work through that range. So that's what's really awesome about mobility, is it's combining all this different type of strength and flexibility in one. So there's a few ways you can add mobility into your routine. It can be part of a warm-up, getting your hips, ankles, shoulders, spine, just getting different areas moving before you go into whatever your other workout is. You can also use mobility as its own training, separate from the other stuff you do. So it can be part of your off day or recovery day, whatever that is. Just a really nice way to get your body moving, even if you're not going on your usual workouts. This can also be really nice when you first wake up, right? Things are tight, you've been sleeping, been on your back for a long time. So it's really good to just kind of get different parts of the body going. And beyond that, mobility training can also help us to feel re-energized mentally. So I like to think about mobility as a fresh start for my body physically, but also for my mind, right? It helps me to get into a little bit better flow of things. And right now during quarantine, I think that's really important for all of us. A lot of us are feeling underworked or overworked or stressed out in some form. Things are different than normal, and that is super stressful, and it disrupts our flow, our usual flow of life. So we can work on the physical components of mobility flow and also keep in mind how this movement of our body can help our mind as well to de-stress a bit and just kind of feel good. All right, so I'm going to show you some moves today to help you mobilize hips and ankles. These areas get super tight. I've been home a lot more. I've been feeling my hips get tighter, my ankles as well. So I'm going to show you some moves to kind of just work different ranges for these areas. And hopefully this can help you just feel better as you're walking around throughout your day, and also can help you with your workouts as well. So our first move that I'm going to show you, I'll have you have some kind of mat or carpet, something comfortable to be on. And we're going to start with our 90-90 position here. So this in itself is already pretty tough for a lot of us. A lot of people, we kind of need to push into the floor here to even start to sit up. So that's what I want you to work on first, okay? So you have your 90 degrees here at the knees and hands out in front of the front leg here, and just start to press a little bit away from the floor here. All right, so I feel this back hip on my right kind of opening a bit, pressing up, and then you can start to maybe take one hand away, press a little bit less, and see if you start to feel a little bit more comfortable sitting upright. From here, a few options. We're going to do a little bit of a twist. So again, use your hands if you need to, and I want you working just this little bit of rotation while we're in the 90-90 position here. So just going back and forth. You can have your hands down as well. But we're just trying to get some rotation here while we've got this hip open, this hip closed. All right. And then from here, give it a shot. You can try to actually sit up, right? And then come back down. All right, so we're starting to open up the other side of the hip now and come back down. See if you can sit up tall. Use the hands a little bit, that's all right. Just kind of feel what's going on here. All right, and something you can do, make sure you have room. You're in your 90-90 here. You open, and then you can transition to your other side. So now I'm in the same exact position, other way. got this hip closed, this hip open, right? And then you can go through that same process on the other side, your press-ups, your rotations, and eventually opening, closing, and then opening back to your other side. This move is awesome. Main idea is just get the hips rotating a little bit more as we're walking around through the day, maybe, or even just sitting. Probably a lot of us are guilty of that right now. Your hips aren't getting this type of movement, so this is super important. And if you're gonna work out, this is also nice to do before. You can also do it after your workout. Might feel good as well. All right, so that's move number 1 for you today. All right, guys, so move number 2 for today. Still working the hips here. We're gonna work a little bit the groin area. Okay, so I want you to start on all fours and then have your toes active like this. So rather than down, we have them up. All right. And what you're gonna do is extend one leg here, flatten out this foot to the floor, and then I'm gonna just start to shift back and forth here. So this is our single leg frog, or that's what I call it. All right, so shifting back and forth, really key point when you're in this position. People tend to round a little bit. We want to avoid that as much as we can. Keep the back active and really sitting towards that heel as much as possible. All right, chest is open. Okay, make sure you work both sides. So I'll do the same thing on my other side here, getting nice and active in this left groin area. And you should really be feeling in here, okay? Working this. Start lighter, and then as you get more comfortable, maybe sit back a little bit more. Just remember to keep that back straight. All right, guys, next move of the day here, we're gonna stand up, and you'll need a wall space or something stable that you can hold on to. We're gonna work on our hip airplane. So, I have my wall space right here. I'm gonna start hands against the wall, and then as much as I can, coming down, I'm gonna kick one leg back. If that feels absolutely crazy, you can just come up a little bit here as well, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I start with this hip pointing towards the floor, and then I'm gonna open my belly button towards this side of the room here, opening the hip, and then keeping this back foot elevated, I rotate in the other way. The foot will drop a little bit, most likely. That's okay. Just do your best to keep it up high. And we're gonna do about 3 to 5 second holds here. As we open, 3 to 5 second holds as we close. You work your other side, same thing. Opening, 3 to 5 seconds here. Keeping that back foot up. Closing. Again. Opening. Closing. So this move is awesome. If you've trained with me, you have most likely done this. I really like it because it's been helpful for evening out my hips in my squat, which carries over to some of my lifting and some other things that I do. It's also helpful for some of my martial arts training because you have an uneven stance so with the fighting. So when you use these types of moves, like this airplane move, it can be really awesome to just kind of even things out with the hips. So super nice, really good one. One way that you can progress it, if you're feeling super great on the wall there, still have the wall near you to start, but you can kind of lighten up your grip here. So before I was really pressing into the wall, now I'm gonna just kind of lighten it up, force a little bit of a balance component in as well. So maybe I take one hand off, right? And I can do the same move there. It's a lot harder. I'm working on that one, but it can be the next level if you're feeling super good with the the first version that I showed. So last move of today that I'm going to show you, we're going to work ankles a little more specifically. This one is super great for pretty much all of us. It's really helpful for squats. We want to be able to flex our ankle in our squats, and a lot of our daily movement or sitting or whatever doesn't really involve that. So really isolating this area before a workout or when you first get up can be really good. So we're going to do, you'll need some kind of platform here. So I have a yoga block. You can use a book as well, whatever works for you. Make sure your whole foot can fit on it. So my foot fits like right onto there. You might need something bigger, whatever works for you, all right? So what we're gonna do, placing one foot on this block, back leg's coming back a little, bend in the knees, fine. And I'm gonna make sure that this heel is flat down, right? And I'm gonna just be nice and active, press forward and back. Right? As I press forward, this heel stays nice and flat, contact with the block. Right? Keep your chest up. You can have the hands on your quad as support, that's fine. Right? Working both sides here. Same thing, heel is down. And try to notice if one ankle feels a little bit tighter than the other, or what other things are going on here. Just really try to isolate this area, feel that heel, this heel flat down as you work through this range. All right guys, if you do all these moves, hopefully your deep squat will feel better. Any pain you're having, maybe it can help with that. Just loosen things up. Hips get really tight, ankles also super tight. So I think this can just be really, really useful for all of us, no matter what our schedule is like right now. Really nice way to just get your body moving. So in terms of how to structure this, try to start 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps of each per side. Just kind of feel it out. As you get more comfortable, you can increase that and incorporate it more specifically into workouts. All right, so yeah, let us know if you have any questions. I hope that this was helpful for you. Tomorrow we will be talking about caring for your body. Coach Alyssa will be running that show, so stay tuned for that, and make sure to like, share, subscribe to our page. Awesome job guys, have a great rest of your day.